Hey, public speakers, this is Mr. Burke. I'm going to spend a few minutes this morning talking over what you need to do for your introduction speech. So, I'm in the week 2 folder of Schoology. There's a folder called Intro Speech. You're all going to have to do this if you're in class or if you're an in class student. This is what we're going to be doing on the days that you're in class. If you're a full distance learner, you won't ever come to class, so this video is mostly for you to explain what your intro speech is going to be like. So let's look at the assignment sheet. So they say the easiest thing to talk about is yourself because you know yourself better than anybody else. You're going to give a 2-minute speech about yourself, then evaluate your performance and complete some reflection questions. The speech will introduce yourself to your classmates. It's going to help us know you better, but it's also going to be a starting point for the semester. You're going to evaluate yourself. I'm going to evaluate you on basic public speaking skills so that you have a baseline for where you're going to go during this semester. The expectations that I have is that you do your best. I haven't really taught you any specific skills, so you're just going to go with what you got. You need to organize, create some good content, and do your best with the delivery. It should showcase your current skills and knowledge, bottom line. If you are stuck, you could send me an email about how to get you started, but you do your best work. Try not to be too nervous. It's really about completing the assignment and making sure you at least get a start in public speaking. A couple things that you have to include in this speech is your name and your grade, and then one truly unique fact about yourself. Make sure it's something that you don't think other people have. Here's a couple different things that you could do, but I'm going to let you kind of spend the majority of time planning by yourself. The time requirement's 2 minutes long. The appropriate content, you got to make sure you have this stuff in here, and then you're going to do the self-evaluation and reflection questions. There's another way to look at that right here, and then this reflection questions are here, and you'll submit this document in Schoology when you turn in your speech. Here's things that are going to be graded, but I have another way to show you that. The second thing in this tab is the public speaking rubric. I use the same rubric for every speech that you do. It's a little bit different than the one that's in that first document, but I didn't know how to get rid of it. So there's 11 speaking competencies that we're going to go over in this class. And those are all listed here. So you can look and see. The first thing is that you have an appropriate topic. It should be a no-brainer given that the topic of the speech is you. The second thing is that you have a good introduction that formulates us to the topic. So you can look through and see, what does that mean? The third thing is that you have a good organizational pattern. You use transitions. You have signal words like first, second, third, or next, last, things like that. Number 4 is that you have good, compelling supporting material. This doesn't mean that you need a research document, especially in a speech about yourself, but you do explain things. If I was going to say, for instance, that one of my favorite hobbies is to watch football, I would give an example of doing so, something like that. The next thing is that you have a conclusion. Also, your word choice and your vocal expression. Are you very animated in your speech, or are you sort of monotone and quiet? Those are the type of things that I'm going to be looking for. Additionally, your nonverbal skills. Are you standing up there like a statue, or are you moving around a little bit? Lastly, are you able to adapt your speech to the audience? So successfully adapting the presentation to the audience just means that you're aware of who you're speaking to. If I was a teacher talking to first graders, I would sound a lot different than if I was a teacher like I am talking to 11th graders. And you should try to make that same sort of judgment. And then the last 2 are visual aids and persuasive things. We're not dealing with that in this particular speech, so I'm going to ignore. So what you need to do as you're creating your speech is you're going to come up with your own outline. You're going to fill it up with 2 minutes worth of information about you. The best way to see if it fits the time is to practice. I can't really tell you that a certain number of pages or things like that is going to get the time because everybody speaks at a different pace. You got to make sure that you have 2 minutes at least. Try not to go longer than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If you're a distance learner only, this is for you right here. Basically, all you need to make sure that you do is schedule a time with me on Wednesday, and you're going to do your speech via WebEx. The rest of us are going to do our speech in class. The AA group's going to do their speech on Tuesday. The BB group's going to do their speech on Friday. So this is what's going to happen for 2 of the days this week. The rest of the time, you'll be basically reading chapter 2 and answering the quiz and discussion.